So, I've shown you already, if I can just tip you up to see it again, that is my my chest with all my journals in. And I've spoken to you about my journals, and I want to now say that there are other journals in there as well. We've covered my main journal, which is the oldest, and it's run for nearly 19 years. But there are a few other books in here. Obviously you have the one-off sort of record books. So we've got this. Now this is a record of stuff about this house, in fact. Mainly to do with the garden. Where all the plants are, roughly how many blooms we get each year, you know, sort of stored in here. This would be a good book really to transfer anything from the allotment in at the moment, because I don't really have much of a record of stuff like that except for what's online. You have to also understand that since 2008 a lot of the stuff has moved online. My weekly video blogs, for example, we're coming up well on our way towards 400 of them. And that again is another sort of archive, if you like. This is the other one. This standalone one is all the information I've got on my birds. That is quite important because the zebra finches are like rabbits, and you need to record who begat who, and you have to ring them all in different colours so that you know. And of course I have all the medical histories on all the other, you know, everybody, from every time they go to the vet it gets mentioned in here. And that's sort of quite an important log, I suppose, those logs. The other log in here, which I don't know if I can find it, or if I have momentarily put it somewhere else. I don't know what I've done with it. I moved it, I put it, oh there it is. Wait one moment while I just get. This is the other thing that I was talking about. I do apologise. Anybody would think I was an amateur. This is my people book, and I have lots of people. It's sort of a bit like a signature book for collecting, you know, signatures in. But it's also what I've let people that have known me write in, so from university and stuff like that. Sort of a bit like a leavers book. And those three books together, these here, are really my log books. They each contain information on a specific thing, and it's logged in there as and when. The other thing I have is my travel journal. This was my first travel journal. It was given to me during the Guernsey tour, when I went on tour to Guernsey, and it's got a list of every place that I visited in it since then. It also holds the first half of the Book of Records, which is not anything to do with this at all, but I did mention it before when I was talking to you about it being a sort of index to finding stuff in my journals. Well, there is a little bit of that in here as well, but mostly this is all the trips that I have done. It also includes some stuff when I go to the end of the earth, and all the maps you see that I develop. That's in there as well. And that one is the first one, but that is not the one that I'm using at the moment. The one that I'm using at the moment is my second volume, which is, Can't even get it right, can I? My second volume, which is this one, you know, that's the most recent in it. The most recent into that, of course, was the Blackpool day trip, which was only a couple of weeks ago. And so that's the second volume. Started reasonably recently, I think. I don't think I've... oh, 2013 there. So... a bit lacking on some of the dates. Oh, 2011. 2011 was when I started this book, so this volume. I have actually got a third volume here, which I haven't started. This was somebody very kindly bought me this as a as a gift. I don't know if it was a birthday or Christmas gift, which has a travel journal in it, which of course will be the next one that I use, but I'm nowhere near starting on that yet. The final thing that is in here, the final set of journals, are my spiritual journals. Now, this is the first spiritual journal. The spiritual journal was a bit delayed. You know, it could have been done with being open 2.5 decades before it was, but it never was. I actually didn't open it until December of 2000. The first one is very spiritual because I was going through issues at that point in time. So there's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of stuff in here. You know, bits. It's got bits of letters that I've stuck in. It's got charts. You know, it's got all sorts. It dissolves a little bit when I'm not going through a spiritually difficult time. Sometimes it goes more into sticking bits from the newspaper in, which are to do with religious type things. So this is also one of those journals where I don't write in it every day. I may be writing it once a year, maybe twice a year. And generally I don't write in it at home. This is what I take with me on my To the Ends of the Earth trips, and I tend to write in them there. The second spiritual journal, which is this one here, there we are, that's the second spiritual journal. It has a lot of stuff stuck in it, but it also has things that I've made. So when I've made a post, a particular post, I used to post a lot on the Christian section on the forum, and a lot of those, if they contain a lot of stuff that I've, like theological thoughts of mine, I've often cut them out and stuck them in as well. So there's all sorts in there, absolutely all sorts. And that one was February, but I don't know what year. Oh, 2004, February 2004. So that was open just after my Annus Horribilis. The most recent one here is the one that I'm still in. This is the third volume, and this hasn't been open very long. March 2011, yeah. And again, you see this one's got a lot of stuff that's been stuck in it, that is spiritual in a way. It's a really hard to describe because, you know, sometimes it's deeply, deeply spiritual, and sometimes it's almost religious stuff that has nothing to do with me at all. It is where I make plans as well for new starts and stuff like that. So there's a lot of what I hope to achieve, I suppose, as well in this. That's the stuff when I started Project Springboard. A lot of the projects are now sort of stored within these books as well. So it's difficult to explain. That one is a very difficult one to explain. But that is it. Those are the only things that are in my box here. they aren't my complete archive, that's just my journal archive. The other archive, I don't know if I can actually show you this very easily, is in what looks like hang on, is in a chest, but it's actually there. That thing lying down is a wardrobe on its side, which I've converted into a chest, and that stores in it the rest of my my archive, so to speak. You'll be glad to know that there is room for a lot of stuff more to be stored in there. It isn't chock-a-block just yet, but that is really my archive storage, whereas what I've been talking to you over the last couple of videos with this diary days is my journal box and what I keep in there.